world if you filter by top 20, but I almost feel like it doesn't matter if you don't show up in the playoff. What if you have a bad performance, you go out here in the quarterfinal? None of that matters.
Well, I'm so excited to be getting the show on the road. Nuke as the first stop of this crucial quarterfinal for both FaZe and NiP. And I know Scrawny and Lauders are ready to be getting this show on the road.
Yes, we are. Hello, Antwerp. And welcome to the championship stage! The first quarterfinal, the first pistol round of the Antwerp Major here in the playoffs, NiP and FaZe, and we duke it out on Nuke.
Yes, absolutely. The bracket where anything is possible and hearts will be broken. A good veto here for NiP, but one where they're still not favored on each map. FaZe have the edge. We're kicking it off on Nuke. We know it's possible for the Swedes, but they have a lot to prove when it comes to the playoffs.
Already Brokey looking for that door play. Brolin doubling it back. Rops hunting. Long range with that 250. Ooh, but it's opening kills here for the Swedes. NiP, solid holds. 3 kills, in fact. This is perfect. Only Brokey left. He waits outside of that smoke, does a little bit of damage, just like Rez. Brolin dropped to 2 HP, but this is a strong CT start.
Yeah, they started off the dominable CT side. The setup is perfect here from NiP, and as was just brought up on the desk, it was a hot game plan the last time they've come into Nuke, and with DGL behind them, you can see it. It's palpable. Their setups are solid overall. They catch on ramp. They don't fall for the squeaky play. And they knew that before FaZe even threw that little fake, that little bit of pressure with Brokey involved. So with this early pistol start, of course, we looked at the conversions. This is where people break when the pressure is too much. FaZe have invested fully. We aren't looking at guns because there was no rifles. So we'll see if NiP anticipate this.
Little bank frag off that doorway. Brolin's blind. He's got players all around him. Rain's gonna get an entry. That's one into the A site. That's a potential plant. Got somebody crawling down the vents already. Brokey, that could be a potential wrap back around Secret. Yeah, check that out. Brokey, he's already moving this one quick. Meanwhile, the retake starting to get ready. 2 players inside Heaven, 2 players here inside of Main, and that flank still getting closer. Can they pull this off? It's a matter of timing. Brokey comes around the side, does a bit of damage, but the Tech-9s go dry. And if it's not twists, then it's another here from NiP. A great game plan in this second round.
Yeah, it was the right idea. That's why Kerrigan is a land caller we always talk about. He's not afraid to call a rush in a moment like that, and that is a spot where NiP could have anticipated they wouldn't force. So FaZe try to catch him off guard. And the best part of all is that they go for the long con immediately, getting Brokey on that fat rotation, knowing NiP will take time in the post plant to try to get comfortable before they go for the retake. But it still doesn't work out. The Tech-9's not strong enough. The fact they didn't get a bomb plant off that first round means they don't have the rifles to lock it in. Credit to NiP for staying clutch. And they seal up the second, even though it looks dicey just for a moment.
Millimeter off that first headshot. Brokey, even the player who peeked in front of his first victim, took a bit of damage, but he soaked up the damage and survived. Keeps it healthy, keeps it moving. We get some Deagles here sprinkled into this one. Brokey, Rain, Kerrigan, all picking them up around Rops' scout.
Yeah, we've seen the Rops op and not so often the scout. Now, of course, on a round like this, you have no incentive to go too quickly. And we'll see if these Deagles will work the map effectively or not.
Pappas opens, that's Rain taken down from the side of the silo. Blopsky also going to make this one look easy, so within that first 30 seconds, we're already talking 3 versus 5, and Robs hasn't even had a target to fire back at. They're just going to hide from him. Little peek out from Mini, missed shot.
Potentially in this following round, there will be some interesting things to talk about, but right here, it is a total snowball from NiP. As they size up FaZe, they take them down 3-0 and 5 alive to get into the first rifle. Big round here for FaZe, establishing in playoffs, coming out of Legends. NiP are trending up, and FaZe are kind of treading water. They had an interesting Legend stage. They were still one of the fastest teams to get into playoffs, but there were moments where you wonder, are they capable right now of taking down a Na'Vi? You know, could they, since they lost at ends even twice in that situation, could that happen again? Oh, okay, a smoke is missed, and there's a gap here in the corner.
Rain's gonna press up next to it, and Essa tags up, finds him instantly through the window. He goes down.
Oh, actually, they're trying to nullify the position on top of Big. Oh, and positionally they're up. They get into Secret, and they take an opening kill back, refragging Rain.
Robs wants to sink his teeth into this A site. Plopsky sits on the other end of 3 players in lobby. Support comes from heaven. Of course, T-side still leaning on a good bit of utility. Robs is going to make a little space to work here. Flash there. Oh, nice, Plopsky. He finds it through that smoke, but there is still the second ship in Brokey. He falls down, and Hampus, inside his troll cave, finds him, shuts down what was, by the looks of things, a live one. FaZe from the 4-4 to the 4-2.
Yeah, the rotations are absolutely perfect, and of course, Plopsky being that early warning system is huge, but now it's back to the 2-on-3 with squeaky action.
Twists finding a fight as well, right on the side of the box. Plopsky stops it, and now Kerrigan with bomb has 30 seconds to try and piece this 1v3 together. The first gun round coming out of FaZe's T-side, a 4v4 with it, despite Essetag getting that first pick, and now it's a clutch, or it's 4 straight from the Swedes.
Yeah.
They hear that movement, they're all gonna start working downstairs, and Kerrigan comes off of that bomb plant with enough time to get into cover. Up close, he loses to Rez though, and that's 3 to stabilize for NiP as they take their 4th round.
That was the movement right there. If he had the space, of course, he had to take some kind of risk. Going to decon would be the obvious move. Getting over to control, he almost made it in time to land that frag. The round is still lost here, and that's the important part, right? Opening kill to NiP, then refrags from there on out, and Plopsky's the guy we have to talk about. In their biggest Nuke match recently versus Furia, he was the guy with 122 ADR on that map on the Legend stage. But in playoffs at Stockholm, he had one of his worst performances when we got in front of the crowd. So can he repeat on Nuke and survive the pressure?
Robs better not back up. Brolin's gonna tuck into the corner. So again, a lot of fights going on with the squeaky door already, straight out of the gate, less so than that outside. Fragment for somebody over on Silo, misses its mark.
Kerrigan's getting ready to pounce on this. Eyes open here inside the hut.
Ooh, look at that, 3 pieces of utility into the A site, looking for the hit. Plopsky, well, he finds him with back's turn, 2 kills. Twist though, he actually burns Brokey. Brolin looking to lock it in, and through that smoke,
Wow.
It's a shutdown. In fact, it's a shutout so far.
Instantly, the 5-round streak, and when we have to talk about Plopsky again, this guy had the opportunity, of course, as a young and up-and-coming star, to get onto the roster and was quickly outshone. Everybody that joined the team thereafter ended up being a better player than he was straight up. Now he's playing with Brolin, a former teammate of his, reunited, and they have joined hands at some bomb sites working together, and that's provided a space for comfort for Plopsky. And we've seen his performances slowly ramp up. He's been doing better and better. Upper side holds, of course, incredibly tenuous, hard positions to play, and he is holding his nerve wonderfully. He's got to feel good about that. He's delivering for his roster right now.
First tack time from FaZe, gonna talk over the plans, come back in with a half buy.
It's still a game where options are completely open. We've seen one real rifle round, ate a lot of half buys, and some good attempts that almost nailed it, but in this situation, back to Tech 9s, we know NiP, they've looked okay in these spots, not broken their composure at all.
That smoke misses its mark
No,
again.
no, it didn't miss. It's there
good.
to top Essetag if he goes up top on Big Garage, and that spot you hate.
I hate it so much. And if you do it in playoffs, we've got a problem. Just like FaZe do right now, trying to crack through this. Ramp's been uncontested, and this is the round for it. Rez falls back a bit, flash into the eyes of the T side. He hears the footing, and Essetag, he's got that bomb dropped already. Dives within hell. Fire behind him, tries the wall bang, and regardless of what else he hits, he's already stunned FaZe for the moment. They hold, they wait. Meanwhile, Rain, he's doing his own thing. But there's nobody really here for him to face. Maybe he can slip through Mini if they decide to go back for the A split, but what's the play here, FaZe?
Space is great, and they made sure that nobody had pushed anything while they were putting that pressure inside of ramp. But it's how do they transpose into the site is the question.
Rez waits. 3 players on the other end of this. They've still got utility, and he has support, so you'd think that this B site holds strong. Util indicates great flash for Rez. He falls back, and he just lost Brolin. There goes his support. It's 2 kills in for FaZe. A test for Rez is dead. And a man advantage made off of the Tech-9 pop from the bottom of that ramp. There were layers. And with that, you'd think FaZe plant. They've got it. And now the retake's on. Plopsky, stopped by Twist. Hands on an AK, and Esatag tucks tail. The half-buy from FaZe is how they start this T-side.
Yeah, they got close on a former half-buy, and here they actually convert it, and this is a round where they keep a little bit of money in the pocket. Key round for NiP to win. Yes, they were up 5-0, but this was the layup. Off of the rifle, they knew that they had it in the bag. 10 grand here on Esatag. NiP have done so well for themselves leading up to this point, and it looks like maybe Esatag will be able to hold on to this. We've seen inconsistency from Esatag, but I think one thing that's important to point out is that in some of the big games, really hard teams, he went toe-to-toe with ZywOo. He actually owned ZywOo. I'll put that straight up on Overpass. He stood up to the scoreline of Simple when they played against Na'Vi. I mean, these are ridiculous things to point out, and that's it to say FaZe are one of these caliber of teams, so this is another test for him, and this is the first time that he said himself that he's earned a spot in playoffs. Of course, over at Blast, they're a partner team. They had the chance to get in. Here, he actually had to grind through the legend stage, be a part of the roster, actually top frag in some of these maps, and pick his team up. FaZe, we're getting close to stomp territory at that point. So, of course, you can always count on them to win a round with pistols. There's that T-side impact from Twists on the entries.
Yeah, and that Brokey one-tap back sight. Oh, gross. Honing nades meant for the top of silos. Nobody home.
Fair play, but Plopsky hasn't spent much time up there. They're hunting for it. We know the exchanges back and forth through Squeaky are critical for both sides, and a lot of free damage comes out of here, sometimes even a frag, and that can be a round-winning frag. Good to not be shy in that spot.
Brolin feels like this pressure could be the vent drop. He's going to hang out within the ladder, and for now, we still wait. 50 seconds, Rain doing his own thing outside again.
Yeah, they're making good pace on the round. I think it's quite unclear as to, where this is going to end. And for
But CT's dropped that bomb. We've got 20 seconds on that clock. Remember, where is Rain? He's trying to round from the heavens. Plopsky's still waiting, just buying that time, but he dies. And now what's left is that wraparound from the CTs.
Yeah, they're playing it slow. There's a chance that they can get this bomb down. I wonder.
I wonder.
Oh, I wonder. Don't know if it was played out. We'll have to wait and see.
Ninjas win the clutch.
Yeah, NiP pull it off before the bomb even gets planted. They stopped that. That was such a nice mid-round, even with 20 seconds left. I mean, they had good pace with Rain getting that lurk off outside, and it never looked hasty. They never got worried. Even in the 20-second mark when they were starting to work into heaven, they made sure to throw their utility first, make Plopsky as uncomfortable as possible, because once again, he has gotten a kill every single time that they've gone upstairs. Do FaZe want to rethink the game plan?
Brokey able to get this entry with the AK last round. Looks for it again with the big green. He's met by smoke.
So far, we've seen a little X factor from FaZe, but not much more than that.
We can see the cogs turning. We can see the plans.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking at this scoreboard with Esatag at 7-2, Plopsky 8-3, Hampus 9 frags. This is a fully fragging NiP,
Absolutely.
and that could be problematic for FaZe anyways. Rain looking to come outside again from a different angle. Ooh, almost. He's got a player down beneath him. He flashes himself. He's really making his move, and those were just a warning shot from Brolin.
Oh man, the presence that he's made is drawing attention. I mean, they have to respect it. There's an opportunity here for them to take this space back, but they turn away.
Hampus is hunting. Rain looking for a second. Won't be able to get that one, but at least he's created a distraction so that they can push into this A site. But Plopsky does not fall. Kerrigan's able to get him, but while the rest of them are smoked off on Mini, that should be footing. Kerrigan feels it into Mini. Fires down Hampus. Man advantage in the post plant.
It's time to get out. That's a FaZe round locked up. They are in no position to retake this, and FaZe put up 2. Wow, that's another situation. Well, even if they lose this round, Plopsky once again upper hold, another kill, and that's a very stressed position. Rain is doing a fantastic job. I mean, if you want to talk about the kills, that's one thing, but his presence outside, staying alive for as long as he did, that had the rotations respecting him. I mean, it was to the point that FaZe had an open ramp completely and were a little bit worried about that fact. They thought because of NiP's game plan, how smooth it's been going, maybe they're going to be ready for this adjustment, but that wasn't the case. We got some exit frags here from Rez as he stays alive too, and this will matter. FaZe have some money left over, and it does feel like that, yeah, the opulence is changing hands. NiP almost bottomed out. In fact, Plopsky, you got to find money in the bank account to lend to him. I mean, he has been such an important part of the map on this CT side. If he gets stuck with an MP9 and they lose to an upper hit again because of it, that'll be an interesting state of affairs. Now, FaZe, reading the money might be kind of difficult. We have no idea what they're going to expect. What they do know, though, is that 2 guns were saved on arguably, at least the op being the most expensive and important piece. It hasn't come down to that, though. And one of these things with NiP is that, because Asatag is on the way up, he's doing better and better, and a huge reason why they get into playoffs. He doesn't stand up to Brokey over time. There's no argument there. There's no question. But beyond that, with Brolin bringing in T-side impact, with Rez being consistent, even though he's had a moment or two of darkness, Hampus being right there beside him, they're like ends, not necessarily relying solely on their AWPer to bring in big wins.
Rain is going to continue to try and beat this jackknife. Damage lining up. He is almost, dead by Rez, who finds him from heaven.
That is enormous to be able to get him out. He has been the guy to scare the clock for NiP. They know they've killed the lurker, the outside purveyor, and at this point, the map is theirs.
It's in a situation like this where you've already lost your distraction, a piece of the puzzle's gone, you have to ask, where is Robs? Not even yet on the scoreboard.
Now, FaZe have some of the best 4v5 T conversions, and at this point in the round, there's still so much up in the air. They still have lobby to themselves. They're showing some utility.
Oh, but even then, Robs is still gonna die. 0 and 7 as Kerrigan comes back, 2 kills. And what's miraculous about this run so far is that Kerrigan has been highly rated, even in the kills department. But Plopsky on his perch, a 1 and done. Twist pushes past and Rez looks the wrong way. So finally, by the looks of it, a 4v5 perhaps. Asatag and Brokey with Twists in the mix. Ops on ops.
Yeah, what a moment for Patrick that this would be in a 1-on-2 situation. We have no idea if he's going to continue with this attempt or not. FaZe, stay attentive.
He's waiting. He finds his timing. He pushes past. Oh, Twist gets back into the cover. Brokey could come out here. Brokey should just clear this, and he will. A nice attempt from Asatag. Patience opened up at least a bit of movement, got onto the bomb site, but ultimately shut down.
Yeah, in the most natural spots and worked his way out and not scared, of course. These are the hallmarks of Brokey, always good rotations, very reliable and explosive, and they get shut out. I mean, this is another spot, I'm going to say it again. Plopsky gets another kill in the upper site, even after 2 of his teammates are dead. So he is finding a way to have impact here. Through the midst of the chaos. It's another round where FaZe attempt and successfully end upper. 3 now as they close the gap between them and NiP, and they finally find a moment of respite as NiP do not have any money, and that will be clear as day to FaZe, who are playing this like an anti-eco, and Kerrigan is hunting them through the walls.
He can sense them, he can feel you.
Yeah.
You can smell that fear as these pistols have to fight off the back foot.
It's all those heat maps, now he's seeing it live.
Twist awaits his target, and NiP await their mistake.
Well, this is getting interesting.
Yeah, we already saw what was like a well-drilled strategy. The reps were there, but the frags not so much. Oh, slide by from Kerrigan. As that's Brolin taken off the front face of this site. We still have someone nearby, but for now, he is just hiding. Hidden in the bushes. Oh, but Kerrigan, he knows it.
He said, peek, swing on me.
Swings him down every step of the way, and now Robs is cracking through. It's just the anti-ecos, but it's 2 headshots, clean as can be.
No, and there's a milestone, 5 alive.
Yes.
That's gonna bring the money up high. And in Counter-Strike, the economy is very fickle. One day, you're rich as hell. The next day, you can't buy a McChicken. And this is a position now that NiP are in, suddenly after just taking a glance at Esatag's money and having $10,000 with an op in hand. But we are back to the buy after that save. Bottomed out again. Will it be the buy save for FaZe? Hands are back.
It's quick. We've seen the nades destined for Plopsky in this position, and one just dropped him down to half, but Brolin kills Kerrigan, who's been such a problem when it comes to that A floor. Robson's looking for his opening. Rez shuts it down. That was a separate 1v1.
That was a spot where Plopsky could have got rocked if the Hut player peeked after the nades came through, and they tried to time that perfectly. But Plopsky has stayed vigilant. Now not a 4v5, a 3v5.
And Brokey's shaky in the legs at 30 health. But think back to those rounds that Rain is able to draw so much attention, create those moments where the rest of his team can maybe pull the strings. It's going to be harder here, and especially with Hampus locked in. Great flash. Oh, that is clean team play from NiP.
Yeah, that was a total timing flash right there. Hampus had an open line. He could have swung out, and it would have been pretty reasonable. And this kill alone, right?
Wow.
Killing Rain, this T-side animal, out of the round at this point means there is no chance. And FaZe are a team that have so much tenacity that even in a spot like that, if they were closer to a bomb plant, if they were 3 in Squeaky, they would be trying to work out and go for this. So this is an enormous win for NiP after losing those 4 rounds. And again, not even relying on an op here. We've seen it on Esatag, but it hasn't actually been necessary so far. FaZe haven't had a heavy game plan towards outside. Instead, they've feigned presence using a lot of cross smokes and having one lurk go through, and Rain, to his credit, has got tons of space. There was the one round where he died to Rez, spraying him down on the cross to secret, which is just an enormous pickup, right? And even with that kill, FaZe actually won. So they can continue on with that, but they also have the ability to have a 5-man cross outside if they'd like to try to go faster towards secret and have something towards lower taken down. But for right now, they've got an affinity towards the upper side. They have a bone to pick with Plopsky. But I don't think they have the utensils.
No.
No, they're not getting to the marrow.
No,
Now, Plopsky,
that's thick meat.
Yeah, Plopsky is thick meat right now upstairs.
That last nade maybe gonna shake him up a bit. We'll see if he has to change position. But even when he's in the open floor, he's been good towards that door.
He's been versatile. Sometimes top sight, most of the time
here.
bottom sight.
T-side get one off.
Yeah.
Bounces right onto Hampus's head.
Big thing right now is that despite Plopsky, we had Brolin has died a couple of times upstairs. He has been taken advantage of. He's going to be the guy on the T-side who's going to be pivotal for NiP. For right now, he's leaning on his teammates a little bit. This is an IGL's dream, you know, this many rounds into the first half. So many different plays have come your way. You get a successful read off, they're going to be telling your mom about it.
Rain working forward with no nades here. He's going to try to chase around into the mini. Here comes the hit. He lines up 2, but only takes the first. Brolin's down next. Rain clean as can be as he gets in through mini. And that was hinging on Hampus inside secret stairs, maybe peeking up and stopping something like that.
That was a set tactic for the molly to come up so Hampus could peek over top of it. First tearing out Silo, separating his angles, and then maybe peeking to the back of Red, or for somebody who's lurking outside. As soon as Rain saw that molly, he rammed into Mini, killed the upstairs guys who were relying in that moment for Hampus to be the first person to take contact outside. So whether that was a demo kill or not, Rain has to get full credit for this round, not from the perspective of aim, literally for being cerebral, taking initiative, understanding the opportunity he had right in front of him.
And giving FaZe a 5th. 5 alive as well. Could bode well for this T-side.
This was a very smart pick for FaZe.
Oh!
Wow. Okay, talk about smart. Those glasses, you can see anything.
Hit him with the super zoom. 3 kills, Rain and Rain alone. You said we've got to praise him. Absolutely. He does everything they needed for that one.
He's not playing the best CS of his life, but he is playing the best CS since this new core of FaZe has joined the roster. And that is huge because the storyline for FaZe is world's #1, but there was a low 4 between him and Kerrigan, right? A little bit of inconsistency there. Insane to have potentially 3 players that could be top 10 at the end of the year with the Twist Robson Brokey combo. But with Rain, we know he has the star player potential in him. Actually, if you go back enough years, even Kerrigan has that. And the fact of the matter is, Kerrigan takes a lot of opening duels, and Rain is going to be right there beside him now, again, on T side, one of the most important players on the lineup, and showing us why.
Whoa, so sick.
And this is his chance. You know, he didn't get to play at Kato in the
Ice
playoffs.
cold.
Had to watch JKS help his team win, and I'm sure he was proud and excited and happy for his team. But I mean, nothing is going to feel better than being there right in front of the crowd and helping them do it yourself.
Awesome to see him slot right back in, higher expectations than ever, and he delivers. The careered FaZe player. Back in with buys.
Yeah. This time it's relatively silent. Look, no outside grenades in this situation. Turtled up here are NiP in this spot. Really expecting, look how much they're expecting this one thing to happen.
Nades go deep on site, not going to find their target. Nice to see the variation we're getting out of this FaZe setup.
Variety is the name of the game for Kerrigan. Mr. 7 map pool himself.
There are layers, and there are also more nades to be inbound for this A site. Another volley. Attack going to quickly climb that ladder, but look who's out already up high. Twist!
Oh no!
Oh, shut down! CT's doing well. 4 kills already. Brolin standing in the open, drops them all. Him and Tag right there when they need it. It is not just Plopsky who dies in the mix, but his teammates swing through, and down goes Brokey in the end. No saved off, the CT side with another.
Oh, look what happens when you get Brolin down into the red HP. The vampiric aura starts to kick in, and he has the bloodlust in his eyes. He stays alive, grabs 2 more in that spot. Twist absolutely had to get that kill. And now NiP are almost meeting their quota of rounds here. Of course, FaZe will power up on CT side as well. They stand well above their T side impact on Nuke. So for NiP, they're going to be fully well aware of this. They know this fight and battle is not done. But FaZe are not going to be happy with 5.
Kerrigan's trying to get out already, but Plopsky's position, good for a double. Attack's support omnipresent, and Brolin's trying to throw himself into the mix as well. He'll stop Brokey towards that vent, and once again, that fast clash from FaZe comes to a grinding halt.
They want it so bad, but look at the plus KD on Plopsky. He has died in almost every round that they've won, and still manages to have a 13-9 scoreline at the end of the day.
That's his masterpiece right there. 3 players splattered on the exit of Hut. No footing inside that bomb site, despite FaZe's ferociousness.
Yeah, that's his Jackson Pollock all over the floor.
And Mohan, I'm going to bring it back up, man.
Yeah.
Where is Robs? Those 2 kills that he have,
yeah,
that's versus the anti-eco when he killed the ramp push.
When we talked about the Legend stage, we saw a map and a series versus the Flames where Robs, for some reason, looked relatively absent. It's impossible to tell with him because whenever he plays, he looks like he's sharp as hell, and then suddenly you look at the scoreboard, he's not quite there. Of course, it doesn't happen too often, and by the 3rd map in that series, he picked it up.
Yes.
But can they afford a slow start from one of their core players? If we're going to take the responsibility less off of Kerrigan, off of Rain, then we have to put that responsibility onto players like Robs. They are one of 3 players, and there's usually 3 on every team where the stats do matter a ton.
Here he is on top of silos. We've seen this exact position zoned by utility a couple of times.
But he's only got hit by it once.
Yeah, and this one was so fast it feels like he can linger there for a second. If they were all climbing up onto the rooftops, he gets down before a head, but... Oh, nice nade.
Wow.
Kerrigan chipped down by that one.
No, he'll happily take that damage in for Rain.
Oh, almost the timing, but with that kill from Robs.
Yeah, that's Brolin upstairs. I talk about this so much, but getting the spams off at Kerrigan. He's the spam god. This guy's making lunch.
Rez trying to find that back, but now I feel like Kerrigan, he can just sink into this position. He's done what he has to. Has both Rez and Plopsky distracted. Rain hunting out that fight. Headshot into the heavens. And a 2 versus 5 for NiP to try and get those double digits. Rez,
what a spray!
At this distance, guns him down. It's only 1 player up, and here comes Hampus. The troll from underneath the floorboards. Oh, almost.
That's a spot.
Robs gets down.
But Robs knows the rotation just as well as Hampus does. It's a very honest duel, and Robs goes down again.
They're taking this back every step of the way, and Twist is just working with this pistol. Fight, but good night!
And he's got Hampus locked into the downstairs, but how's he going to read the rotation? It's been calm to him. He picks up a better gun. And now it's a bit of a waiting game because Hampus could go anywhere. In between the vents, of course, that's between two sites. Twist has options, and so does Hampus.
Twist's cold-bloodedness versus Hampus's nerves of steel. A 1v1 to finish off this half, and you never know, one round can make a world of difference. Now sound being made on this B site, bomb will be planted. Hampus can't stop that, and he's gonna keep that element of surprise. Twist with the flash. Smoke kit flash on Hampus. That's great for a defuse if things get weird. And Twist doesn't know, so he's gonna play this one proactive. He starts to round the corners, and he's gonna close it with a kill and a clutch. FaZe to 6 on this T side.
Yeah, maybe his most vulnerable spot right there, but absolutely composed. Really well done from Twist in those final moments. A Deagle kill in the 1v2 to kick things off. X Factor carries at least FaZe into the 6th round position. This could have very easily been an 11-4 based on the quality of rounds we saw from NiP. Super solid stuff. They lost to a force buy, they lose to another at the end. But ultimately, they have so much to be proud of. Almost everything else went really well. And again, it's not every day that we're talking about Plopsky, and I love to be able to do it. And now we're looking at back-to-back insanely high Nuke performances. This is going to be a guy to watch when we talk about upper holds. But as we switch sides, 3-round game, into the pistol, FaZe have a CT side they know is good. Robs has a chance to recover his scoreline, playing one of his best spots over at ramp. We'll see if he'll make it happen. He couldn't get that efficacy inside the Squeaky as a lurker.
When it comes to this T side for NiP, we look at Esatag's ratings. They fall off from the defense. But guys like Brolin, Rez, they pick up that space. And speak of Brolin, he's dead already. USP to the face.
One thing about FaZe, it doesn't matter the scoreline. One of the best parts about the team right now, losing or winning, is they always play like they are winning. We're gonna see that, but that won't be enough to guarantee you the map.
But check this out.
It's a bait.
Twists, he waits, he taps into the back of the first, and he's only gonna get that one. Esatag's able to turn back around from the bottom of that ramp and help out Plopsky before he becomes another victim. 3 versus 3, but a health advantage for the T side, undeniably.
Yeah, I mean, this is NiP with a canvas a little bit, right? They've got the CT scrambling to look back for space. NiP will know that in this spot. And look at Hampus go.
He's looking for his opening. Shots whiz by him. He drops down. And does he tell his teammates to come or go? Kerrigan catches the headshot. He's looking for another in the open.
He's stunned on him.
But Esatag stopped by Brokey.
Put on a show.
Clan, a critical second pistol.
Yeah, we got the maestro, Kerrigan, putting together 3 fat frags in the pistol, 1 in Squeaky on a real honest 50-50 engagement, 2 up towards Habit. He actually took out Hampus trying to rotate into the site, and he hung the rope for his teammates, said, hey, come on over, get up this ladder. I've created the space we need, but he was wrong. He loses to the other IGL. And a third attack timeout has already been called for NiP. And on one hand, you want to credit a team that uses them, right? You should be liberal with these tack pauses. But there is a world where they run out and need them.
Clean one on Hampus, catching him back sight. Makes up for the labored effort of the second.
Yeah.
And look at the importance there.
Yeah, they can feel it. I mean, this is suddenly a 2-round game. This was a 5-0 start from NiP. And they're going to chill. They're going to chill with this buy. We got the 2 MP9s here for the FaZe plant. No bomb plant like FaZe, but no buy where FaZe would have.
And one of the nice things that I like to see about this first half performance from Plopsky, we have to remember, he's been at this stage of a major before, but fell empty-handed in Stockholm.
Yes.
Marked improvement in the first showing.
I talked to Hampus right after that major. He said, we choked. He said, I choked, we choked. And it takes a big man to admit that. And of course, Hampus, it's easier for him because coming out of the Legends at Stockholm, he was the clutch player to bring them over the line. A leader of the team in terms of frags and calling. NiP try to work space outside. Grouped up real close.
Support systems here though, Kerrigan.
Oh, they've unleashed him.
Making money from the tail end of that attack. They take a little too much time for Kerrigan's liking.
Yeah.
And he just prints it.
And this game starts to turn up a couple of degrees, right? Now, no longer do FaZe feel like they're playing worse. No longer do FaZe feel like they're not having the start they're looking for. No longer do FaZe remember the fact that they got to take Cloud9 down on Nuke in the Legend stage and get to this point, knowing that that was an easy map to take. What's actually interesting is in all of their last series, I mean, almost 7 or 8 maps, no team has gotten over double digits except a single one. So NiP are almost at that point. FaZe have had absolutely immaculate Nuke performances.
Well, that's under question as the pressure is on and applied even further to Hampus. He's lucky to be alive. He'll walk back, leaves a player tucked in. And we've already got Robs downstairs. He has 1 kill in all of the gun rounds of this game. Kerrigan tries to chase, but not too far, just so that Brolin has to stay empty-handed.
You press tab right now, you might think, let's take the action to Robs a little bit. Let's see how if he's any more comfortable switching over to the CT side.
It's the old blood right now that's biggest for FaZe. Rain and Kerrigan, 30 kills between them.
Got a real classic lurk here for NiP. And the map overall is very quiet. Rez throwing some nades for himself in this position. And the CTs are ready to catch anyone walking into mini or past.
Ooh, Rez looking to get away, but he actually gets taken down. Woo. Rain finds it outside. Brokey holds ramp and then escapes. Instantly gone. Kerrigan decides to activate. Kerrigan wants to activate. Can he catch them? Backs turned again? Yes, because Hampus was so incredibly low. S-Attack turns it upside down towards ramp with that 1 kill. But he's got an entire CT side to quell.
Okay.
And so with that, we have FaZe tying this game at 9.
Yeah, they continue to be ice cold here on CT side. And again, for FaZe, the reason that they picked this map is just that they have had nothing but success on it. Completely undefeated on Nuke at this very moment. We're talking 6 wins in a row. And the only team to get over 10 rounds on Nuke versus them is ENCE.
Half buy-in from the Ninjas in pajamas. Rain at the helm of the hold.
Another ridiculous stat to pile onto that. FaZe 70% win percentage on CT side of Nuke.
A walk through smoke just won't cut it. Not today, Hampus. But Hampus isn't the only one who's sniffing out routes outside. And Rez will manage to skate by that initial one. Look at this, Rain back turn. He gets past the garage door. Rez is gonna follow. Oh, executed.
Yeah, that's one in the bag. He'll continue his journey.
Kerrigan jumps back into mini, flies beyond the squeaky door. Twist is gonna have to take up the job of holding this site, and it's only the 1 kill. S-Attack can't cross easily, not with Kerrigan's hands on that AK. Deagle outside goes down, and FaZe will move forward with a 1-round lead.
Yeah, we got Robs opening up a little bit, of course. Now, Rez on these lurks over and over again. This is interesting. Now, the one thing that looks a little stringy, we look at the FaZe CT side, all of the nades were being thrown for Rain to assist him in getting space and going off with these lurks. In this spot, we had Rez throw his own kit of utility to try to create space. Rain literally swung on him from Big Garage a few seconds after he saw that. He called the bluff completely. So they're going to do that continuously. Is it going to be too predictable?
Brokey, oh, he's burning all the way down to the fire.
But they throw the wrong molly. There's
Twist.
a spot here for Twist.
And Kerrigan both on top in the Raptors.
Oh!
Kerrigan, double kill. S-Attack answers back. It's a wounded NiP, but it's still the 1v3. And Robs has been so absent. But now he has a chance.
Yeah, Hampus jumps into his arms, and Robs, he is angry. He's looking for redemption in this map from Legends, only an op to play with. They may have both given him an audio cue.
But he's going to give it up.
That's it for Robs. NiP have done it. They've broken into double digits to be 2 out of 7 teams to do that versus FaZe, but the CT side is still looking very strong.
The core is not here for FaZe. Brokey has 6 kills, Twist has 8, and Robs is also on 6. You look over to the NiP squad, and you've got guys like Esatag and Plopsky who are right there with Resin Hampus, who have given us those more stable performances.
That's a very good point. I mean, we point to that upper hold as a great example. It's one where Kerrigan has been trying to help both upstairs and outside, and in this spot, he doubles up as an anchor, playing in Mustang, waiting above Twist, and again, the molly is thrown and leaves a gap on the left side of Hut, so Twist can stay there, and he doesn't get a kill. Kerrigan has to get 2, and that's all the upper hold has to offer. So I think what you pointed out is exactly right. You know, you want teams to have players who don't often have good performances to step up once in a while, but it is actually worrying when that happens too consistently over your core. And the reason is those 3 players have the most space. They have the best spots. They're the ones who can ask for all the flashes. They can be liberal on their peaks. FaZe are fighting for their playoff life, and this bracket is absolutely brutal when we look at quarters.
You know, FaZe, they're expected to be the challenger to Na'Vi in the finals. If you had to predict the bracket right now, that's what the majority would say.
Yeah. Sometimes you
their first test in the Ninjas, a very green group of Ninjas at that.
You have to strike that balance between seeing the trophy in your hands but not thinking too far into the future, because at the same time, if they ever get to Na'Vi, it'll be a few series from now. It'll be a tough road, and they know that they have to be warm right away. NiP again trending up like crazy.
And sort of out of nowhere.
Absolutely. I think they made that move to get Brolin. It was T-side that was their biggest issue. That was the point that had to keep being brought up. You know, and then the fact that they had to fill the shoes of Device, and as a tag again in their big games has done enough. But with DJL, with Brolin coming in with a 1.20 rating on T-side, they have solved these problems directly.
What?
Oh,
we didn't see that.
Rain. Yeah, and that maybe we get a 2v2. But for now, 10 to 10.
And 10 to go here in regulation.
If we're lucky.
Antwerp, are you still there?
Yeah, they are.
Just double checking.
Yeah, the crowd is light today, but they are loud.
We got lots of CS to give you, and Twists is going to give it right back to NiP. 2 kills made easily through the Hut. Brokey's coming alive, and we just put these players under question.
Okay.
So they put the Ninjas under pressure, and they answer on this CT side.
Wow, was that your energy? That's what did it. FaZe immediately put up the hold, and we get the set play right from NiP through the lobby into upstairs, and they're ready for it. These long drawn-out rounds have worked out all right. Rez getting last alive in a couple of these spots, and very interestingly, again, being the lurker on this team is quite interesting. Make sure this 1-op doesn't get recovered. This would be in the hands of Robs. He would happily take this into the next round. Might not buy for himself otherwise, but they finally hold.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, out of bounds. Is there a world where?
Oh, there always is. It's Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it is Rez, you know, 3 in the name. Right?
There's always a chance.
Let's see, and look at his first victim turn sideways as he works out into Mini, and Rain doesn't have a way to fall back, so he has to absolutely win his duel, but like you pointed out, Rain has been winning his duels. Kerrigan have been winning their duels, and at the very least, they are buying time for their teammates to get back into it, to slowly wake up. But at some point, they've got to. That coffee's got to kick in, and it hasn't yet. NiP look to etch their names into the tablet of history, and we know that so far they have already put up such a great performance to get to this point that they could feel like this is adequate. But with the amount of momentum that they have right now, just getting into quarters, I mean, if they know that if they win this series, they might see themselves in grand finals, taking out one of the favorites here at Antwerp right away.
You beat FaZe in your opener, and it feels like you can run all the way, no doubt.
And it is true. It is true.
But for now, they trail, and will also have to come in with a lesser buy. Mac 10 here in the hands of Plopsky, Tech 9 for Brolin. We've got an edge for FaZe in both round count and economy. Time to wake up. Brokey gonna take down half of Hampus outside. Brolin pressed close, almost able to punish, but now Rops is looking a little lively.
Yeah.
At the very least, that's the pistol taken down. You still have those 3 rifles in the hands of NiP, which means the threat is very much real.
Yeah, you might feel a little insecure in this spot, crossing outside, knowing that your 1 ramp holder has died, because that means Robs could have taken over lobby, but they'll continue forward with the plan.
And Twist gets the headshot in an instant. A second melted off of the side of Mini. Robs comes back from hell. Plopsky trying to buy time, but there it is, turned into the 1 kill towards Garage, and the SMG, the lonely SMG is all that's left.
Okay.
Kerrigan shuts it down. FaZe continue forward, putting distance between them and the Ninjas.
Yeah, you know, Twist has a great haircut, but it turns out he's a great barber as well. Those are 2 clean kills inside of Mini, and 1 of 3 players that we have once again referenced need to get back in the server. He ties his kills and deaths now with 13.
It was wild to see Kerrigan put up numbers in the Legend stage. Here he is in the Champion stage and still at the top of that scoreboard for FaZe. The Ninjas limp into this one with even less weaponry than the round just 1 ago.
Oh, the Molly tactic is perfect. They have to waste, man, the expenditure of resources in a spot like this is going to be too great here for NiP. They have the ability to go for the cross light if they want to. Some feet will be spotted, and you know Rain loves them.
Here comes Robs, right into the action. Melts any little amount of hope that the Ninjas could have possibly had in that one. They thought maybe
That's
a
just
tactic,
it.
maybe an opening, maybe a crack of the whip, but no sir.
No, if we look at FaZe as the team to watch on this map, then they have shown us that using smokes outside is one thing, but committing players to outside is another. And they exposed a flaw in that setup, and again, it was so much demand on the amount of resource expenditure from NiP. They could re-smoke that, but that's the only smoke they could use for the plant later on. You've got to use majority smokes outside just to feign presence, just to let people know you might cross, but there's always still the opportunity for someone to come up secret. There's always the opportunity for a flash retake in that position. And FaZe has smartly both been using those smokes, but not relying on them.
3 rounds the lead, and NiP still hunt their 2nd bomb plant of this half.
Ooh.
1 round win, 1 bomb plant, that is it.
Yeah, it's been a very classy CT side here from the FaZe clan.
Frag grenade finds its mark ever so slightly. Hampus looking to chew through something outside, and now that gap won't be punished. He's good, he crosses, he's gone.
Oh, we've got happy CTs right now. I mean, there's little turtle wax on these rotations. They are shining at the moments, and they've got Mini covered. They have their lower rotation. We heard that vent drop, or that window break from the T side as well.
It's close. Oh, and this time it's Brolin.
Well, this is it. Actually, that, you know, alleviates a ton of stress here for NiP. I mean, they might not recognize the opportunity. And this Rain versus Rez situation is interesting because now it's a little bit reinforced.
So passive. So passive. He just leans back.
Always throwing nades for himself again. Could easily be the victim of a flash for himself.
Oh, blinded by a teammate.
Oh, it's even still. He's going into Mini with his back turned.
Now Rain knows about the second, would have seen that grenade thrown over, so sure enough, Rain, easy 2K.
That was a huge risk from Hampus. He signed up for that duel knowing that he has to get the 5v4 back.
Forces the hand of what's left of the Ninjas over towards the ramp. Flash versus Brokey, peels him off that initial angle, and now it's all about the challenge. He hits Plopsky down to 2 HP, and Robs is already downstairs, swinging it off of his own. He drops S-Attack, hits the second, and now it's Plopsky on the other end of that rafter, just waiting for some kind of a face with such little health left and such little time. He at the very least brings Robs with him, but there's Twists to avenge his fallen comrade and to give FaZe Clan 14.
Yeah, okay, Robs is a bit of a rock. He still has that op in him, and he puts together 2. Single bomb plant and a single round 1 here in the second half, and FaZe continue to repeat history with their immaculate CT sides. This is so familiar to when Na'Vi had their streak, they would do the same thing. Struggle on T side a little bit and then always clean up.
Give you that grain of hope just to break your dreams on the other end.
But unlike with Na'Vi, FaZe are not relying on a simple. They've got more under the hood.
Yeah, they got FaZe and Rain and Kerrigan. seen flashes from the others now. A little bit of life out of FaZe Clan through and through.
He knows a jump throw could be coming, and Rain is patient enough, and he'll
in.
shut this down before it starts.
Nearly drops Esatag off of the roof.
It's huge to even be out there knowing that they have to come and take it back. There's 4 in lobby, it's obvious. There was no one outside.
The ninjas in pajamas, they just can't get their grappling hooks into anything. They can't climb any walls. Drowning in the moat of this CT side from FaZe.
Oh, and now Rain knows time is on his side.
They would have loved to find Rain still out of position, moving too far forward,
This
but
is one of the hardest positions to clear.
he's
Now
back.
now they have the op support, but Rain gives them the opening, and that's actually now an advantage for NiP.
Kerrigan gets blinded in the process. Brokey, he's gonna get one.
Oh!
And with Rops by his side, it's a shutdown. Just when you thought there was hope for NiP.
The 2 guys who are absent from class have shown up, even if it's late. They've made it in time.
Kerrigan wants a little more.
Yeah, give this man your love. You know he loves the crowd.
He wants it and he deserves it, man. He is fighting for this.
Well, we'll talk about deserve when they get there, okay?
Sure.
He knows that he can do it.
He's been
But
closer than this.
that doesn't mean he will, and he knows that as well. But this could be FaZe's biggest win, even if this series isn't over.
Brokey already in with a kill. Here comes Kerrigan pushing through Hut and dropping that bomb. Oh, but there's an answer. Brolin with the lesser weapons, gonna keep this one 3v3. Talk about a duel at the start of it. Both teams just looking for that first fight. Initiating contact. Brokey gonna miss his shot on cross. He knows he's got someone in the open, but Esatag's able to get downstairs.
Oh, but the refresher. The cold drink on a warm summer's day. Rops comes through, and he actually smokes him out of ramp, which was their next point of attack. But not only that, he's putting together damage.
Switching out guns. Such a difficult cross. Brolin's at the front of it. There's already players inside that site. Rops decides to go through.
Oh my God!
He's got him on the ladder! Rops even finds the exit plan. He's got the schematics.
And he won't let them breathe. Rops coming back around. We've got a T coming up the ladder, and he's just done.
And FaZe, after giving us a little bit of doubt in that first half, turn this one upside down on their defense. Hampus is being hunted and he doesn't even know it. It is over as FaZe Clan take Nuke.
Oh yeah, talk to him. He wants to hear it. That's a huge win from the leader of FaZe in a map that they were supposed to grab, but didn't start off nicely on.
No,
Again, NiP with that 10 rounds. Put themselves out of 7 teams now to get over 10 rounds. That's nice, but no closeouts. 7-0 streak here for FaZe on Nuke.
Starting to grow, starting to power up, and they didn't just beat 1 or 2 players from the